Alright, welcome to the first installment in our tutorial series, How to Legend. What we're going to be doing as our goal through this series is to walk you from basic, new to the game, introducing you to the various functions of how things work, up to where you've got a solid grasp of the various mechanics, and you are able to play at a level that will get you to the Legend rank, the highest ranking tier available in the game. So let's get started. You've signed in. You've built a profile. First thing it's going to ask you to do, or among the first things, is pick a profile picture. You have access to the various races and all sorts of various nice profile pictures. Hopefully more to come. Right now it's just 4 per race, but I'm a fan of cosmetics, and if I can give a shout out, I like more profile pics. You find one you like. In my case, I am running Imperials. You click it. Continue. Now, late game, you'll notice I've already got the level 50 cap. What race you have doesn't matter. You can pick whatever you want, and it'll be fine. Personally, I picked it for the emotes. I like the emotes this profile picture has the best, and within a race they are different. Now, however, when you're leveling up, we actually need to look at something else. So I will have a link to this in the description, but as you level up, you will be getting level rewards, and some things have changed, so this evolving is no longer true, but what is true is, see at level 6, you get a random racial common card. So based on your race, you will get a common card that corresponds. There's a racial rare. There's a random epic, but what's most important, and we'll just kind of skip over levels, is down at level 24 and again at level 32. You will get a legendary card based on the race you have picked in game. You can hover over these to see what their current stats are. Personally, when I was leveling up, I went through Breton. I liked Daggerfall Mage, and I actually ended up getting that for my level 24 and my level 32 level ups. And as such, I was able to start with a nice, non-unique legendary that helped get me further in the game. But there are also very nice, very aggressive options. Redguard having Merrick, Orcs getting Woodorc Headhunter, and Gortwog, both of those very powerful. Nord, all of these cards are very good. I mean, they're legendaries. You're not going to be getting trash. But that said, after that, you'll go back to getting just some of the occasional random racial cards. But aside from that, you're not getting any more legendaries. Just at 24 and 32 does it matter. And then after all that, pick whatever you want. But back over to game. So, you've got your profile picture, you know what you want. You are going to want to, and I clicked profile again, I actually want to click play. You're actually going to want to go and complete your Forgotten Hero story. There's 20 different acts in it, and different acts will give you, hey, here's a new starter deck that's got plethora of new cards, or hey, here's a pack, here's some gold. I think through that you also get a starter deck, one of the 500 gold starter decks. I may be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure you get it. If not, you get the gold to buy it. We'll get back to these other stories. Those are ones that have been released since, but you'll only have the Forgotten Hero one unlocked. So you'll want to complete that. If you get a choice on the starter deck, there's a lot of good ones. There's talk on Reddit. We'll link to various things in the description if I can find something that'll help, but there's various starter decks. My favorite is the Ancano's Cunning deck. This is what you'll be getting with it. I like Ancano. He's one of the most powerful and most run blue legendaries. I like Atronach's. Conjuration Scholar is a solid start in the Atronach field. You get Dark Rebirth. A version of this deck is what took me to Legend the first time when I started playing, was able to actually get there. So I have a soft spot in my heart for the deck. You also get some really nice epics where you've got Cloud Rest Illusionist here. You've got a single copy of Ice Storm. I think Praetorian Commander. Yeah, you get Praetorian Commander. Not really needed in this deck, but still, nice rarity. Nice to use. It doesn't come in premium. I crafted this deck after, so my premiums are included. They're all common, non-premium cards, but I digress. I'm off on a rant again. So, Curve's good. Good deck. Let's talk about Legend decks. So, you're going to get various cards and want to upgrade those decks. I will be linking you to my Legend deck profile, which has, I think, one budget deck at the time of recording this. I'm working on getting more out. But let's pull up. Yeah, so this is what I'll be linking to you. Right now we've got the budget Dominion list. And what makes it budget is it's got this cost here. This column is the cost in soul gems to craft the deck. Some of my more expensive decks, like one of my tournament decks here, 17,000 gems. Mimi combo deck, 24,000. 100 card Singleton Telvanni deck, 47,000. That's my most expensive. Yeah. So, but you also see there's some numbers in red. Initially, for you, on Legend decks, that number, which is the number of cost in soul gems that you are missing to craft the deck, will equal the cost to craft. So cheaper decks like Budget Dominion, they're going to be easier to craft, and then what's more important, since I built this off of the Dominion deck you can purchase for 1,000 gold, a lot of the costs, like Iron, she costs 1,200 soul gems to craft. Well, you get her as part of the pack, as well as all of the epics here that are required. So you're gonna have a head start. You're not gonna have to grind out 7,850 gems just to get started. But you can. Let's say we were looking at Encano's Cunning, so I'm just gonna search Encano here. I've done this before just to see what shows up, so I make sure we don't dead draw. And look, it's got nothing. But that's okay, because we're in news. Let's switch over to decks. So we're going to scroll through here, and we're looking for cheap decks. We've got some Encano Red Year Shenanigans decks. What's most important is we got a nice cheap one here. CVH has made an Encano budget deck. Realiz went and uploaded it for us. We could just pull that up. It's got most of the cards we had. It switches out some of the less good ones for better ones. Then we can go down. And hey, we can export this deck directly to Legends. So we're going to click that. And we could copy it there, but we're just going to click copy. So this is the way that decks are handled in Elder Scrolls Legends. So we're going to go back into the game. Pull up our collection. And we want a new deck. Now the game sees what is on our clipboard, says, hey, looks like you've got a deck code. We say, why yes, it is a deck code that I want to create. And there you go. But then likewise, if you want to export a deck code to share, you've got a little export button here. Copies the deck to the clipboard. Let's do something else, just so I can show you. So now we've got our Banelord deck copied. Now we could go in, and it would recreate our Banelord. Let's go ahead. We could copy decks we're wanting to edit. We're going to go ahead and just delete these, just clean up the mess we've made. But the other thing, let's go in here to settings. So this is hidden. We're going to go into settings, info. Right here is where you can export your collection. It copies it to clipboard. Go back over to Legend decks. Make sure you are signed in. Import. We can now import our collection. We're going to right click, paste. Puts the entire code for our entire collection, which we will then import. It says we're now up to date. Let's just go back to our deck screen, and we should, all things being equal, see that all the red numbers are gone, as it now knows exactly how many soul gems we need to craft the decks. And as these are all decks I've already built, I have the cards for them. Alright, let's get back into the game. So, let me do a quick little check of our outline. We talked about the avatar, the levels, do the story, various cards with Legend decks. Alright, so we're at basic gameplay. So, we're going to do, on our other tutorials, a tutorial on lanes and actual strategic gameplay. So we're not going to go into that, but we're just going to kind of show off what's going to happen. We're going to go in and do collection building, how to best build up your collection. And I think the final one we're doing, yes, is on deck building. How to build your own decks and have them not end you up sucking. That's a process. I built my own decks exclusively when I played this game, and it took me almost a year to actually have good decks I was building. But let's go ahead and start in practice. So practice, you've got various levels. Novice, easy to beat. Whoops, clicked out. Adept, medium, and expert, hard. Initially, you've got to beat novice to unlock adept. You've got to beat adept to unlock expert. The difference is, obviously, the AI is harder, and you get more reward for beating expert. Let's go ahead and actually, I'm going to start on novice, and we're going to show off the Encanto's Cunning list. I don't think we're going to get to show off everything, but it'll at least give us a good idea of what we're looking at. So, alright, we are against Ebonheart, one of the new classes released in Alliance War. If you don't know what it's called, you can actually hover over the name there, and it shows you. So we're at the mulligan. Magicka, this number right here, starts at 0, then on your turn it goes to 1. On your next turn, it goes to 2. And so on and so forth. There's no land system. But this means with our cost, we're going to want to start with cheap cards in hand that affect the board. So we're going to go ahead and redraw. You do get 1 mulligan, our Lightning Bolt, and our Calm. Try to get more cheap creatures and to develop a curve. Curve being a 2-drop, a 3-drop, a 4-drop, etc. We didn't get it, but we did get early control from a Firebolt. Basic types of cards in game. You've got creatures. They'll all have like a little creature type. You've got actions like our little Firebolt here. And we've got supports, which I don't think we're actually running any in the game. But let's focus on this game. So he played Argonian. Once he gets to 7 or more max Magicka, it gets +2/+2, and so it'll become a 4/4 attack defense. But that's a couple turns away. I think we're just going to contest with the Harpy. So it's got Prophecy, which means we'll get to runes when we get to breaking them, but we'll get back to that. It means something later. Summon, we get to shackle a creature. It loses its next attack, or its next turn worth of attacks.
Just in the nick of time.
He plays out Inspiring Soldier. Veteran, when it attacks and survives, it gets a benefit. So we're just going to trade here. Firebolt that off so he doesn't get the veteran ability off of it. And we've got 2 Magicka left. We'll get ourselves a random Astronaut. We get the 6 cost, 7/5 with Ward. Supports. I was saying we don't have any supports that we're going to see. There's one, Elixir of Vigor. 3 uses. When he activates it, he can activate it anytime on his turn. Give a creature 1 extra health. We're going to pump him in the face. We're going to save onto our Lightning Bolt.
They swim in the wrong river, the dull ones.
So he's played Gorilla. Then he activated his support to make it into a 2/5. So I think we're going to go ahead and just attack face. Then I think I'm actually going to want to get more cards to play with. So we're going to play our Winterhold Illusionist.
Is never as he seems.
His ability, on summon, which means anytime he enters play, another creature disappears, and then at the end of our turn it'll reappear. We could pick his. We could also pick ours, which is going to disappear. When it comes back, it's going to treat it as if it were summoned, and we get another Astronaut, this time a 4 cost, 5/3. Uses attacks or actions and support to keep buffing that creature up. We're at a Lightning Bolt, we can just remove it, send our guy face, and carry on. Fireball, 1 damage to all enemies, clears our dude, does 1 damage to our face. So we're going to go ahead and just develop our Storm Astronaut. He's a big boy, so we're fighting for the field lane now. Next tutorial, we'll kind of be looking at how we're going to play and try to contest these various things. Shadow lane, we'll make sure to play something there to get value off of it. But alright. Summon. Draw a card for each card your opponent drew this turn. Ward. First time it would take damage, prevent it. So we could bump into this guy and take no damage, make him an 8/2. We could also break 2 runes, dropping him to 20. For each rune you break, your opponent draws a card. If that card has Prophecy, they may play it for free. What I think we're going to do here is we're going to hope he gets no Prophecies. So he hit 1 on that second rune. So let's see what gets played. He got a Silt Strider. Prophecy, so that's what allowed it to be played for free. Guard means it needs to be attacked before I can hit anything in the lane or his face. And if something was in another lane, he could have moved it. So I think we're actually going to draw one card now. So we're just going to play that down.
To adjust our methods.
Okay, so it still counted that prophecy as a draw. So we got 2 cards from it for breaking the 2 runes. We're going to play out our Cunning Ally, see if we have a blue on top. We have a blue on top of our deck, so we get a free Firebolt. And we'll call it there. Opponent's turn. Uses the ring to get 1 extra Magicka this turn. Plays Bushwhack. Black Marsh Guardian. Black Marsh Prodigy. So this one's veteran ability is once it attacks and survives, it gets Guard. This one, once it attacks and survives, it gets +4/+4. We don't want that to happen. So I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to put our Crystal Tower Crafter over here in the shadow.
This won't take long.
So in the shadow means he can't trade into us, but it will go away at the start of our turn. Mage's Trick does 1 damage, and it'll heal us for 1. We draw a card. Picked up a Ward Crafter. Just going to bump that out of the way. Listen to the sad death sound. There is much sadness.
Time to test my theory.
I think we're going to roll for another Firebolt. So we're looking for ways to clear this out. And I think we're going to be looking pretty good for next turn. So we're going to pass. There's the guard we knew he was getting. Cave Bear. Deshaun Sneak. Alright. So, first thing we're going to do is we're just going to drop Calm on this. So it now has 0 attack. Every time we play an action, we get +1/+1. So currently we have 6. So we're going to Firebolt. Who do we want? Well, let's think through this. We might want a Lightning Bolt. So we're going to Lightning Bolt here. Get our extra 1. Then we're going to Firebolt. Clear the bear off. Now we've got our 8.
There's more to
We can trade, remove this. Ward prevents us from taking damage, so we're just going to bump. 5 Magicka left over. I would actually really like another Firebolt. So we're going to try to shuffle this back. See what we pull.
Let's do this.
We do not have a red on top, or sorry, a blue on top of our deck. In fact, we had another Calm.
Serve you faithfully.
Looks like it falls on my shoulders.
Alright, so now we've got 8, 15, 18 damage. We are threatening lethal. So we're going to go ahead and start pushing damage. Let's go ahead and Firebolt you, just to clear you off, buff our guy up a little bit.
I've got
Send it
you
face.
They
We're
underestimate.
going to bump him. No prophecies. Now, that rune will only trigger if he still has health left. Because we're going to send 7 damage face, it knocks him to -1. That rune never triggers. And it's game. Now, because we beat the AI, we're going to get a small little reward here of soul gems. 5. And I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe it's 5, 8, 15. So if we beat Expert, we get 15 soul gems, 8. So I tend to try to play on Expert. You can get a couple hundred soul gems a day before it times you out and says, hey, you can't earn anymore. But that means you're able to get, as long as you start playing that, a legendary a week, easy. In addition to what other normal drops you'll be getting through daily reward bonuses, playing in casual, playing in ranked, playing in solo arena, which I advise. We'll get into this a little bit later, but if you're going to start somewhere, and this is the only video you're going to watch on where you want to get started without any advanced tactics or anything, start in solo arena. Get your solo arena up to rank 1. You will start at rank 9. Every time you get 7 wins, or max wins, sorry, in solo arena, which is 9, you'll gain 1 rank. You either pay 150 gold or an arena ticket. We'll be going through one of those later. Final bit of information I have for this video. There is an in-game glossary. If there's anything you don't know, like how do the cards work, they've got a in-depth glossary here that kind of explains the various lanes, explains how to go in and create a card. Oh, we'll look at that real quick before we call it. That'll be our last thing. So, various attributes, typical types of cards in those attributes, all the little words you see underneath your cards and what they mean exactly. Right, there's the match ranking in ranked mode. Arena ranks is actually probably here too. Yeah, there's the arena ranks. So you do start as pit dog and you want to try to get to grand champion. Pilfer, rally. There's all sorts of good information here for you. So, last thing, cards. Collection. So there's a couple tricks you can do here. So the first isn't really so much a trick. You can just observe your collection. If you click this, it shows you, let's go, actually, I don't have normal Nord Firebrands, I ended up getting rid of them, but shows you your Nord Firebrands. You can come in, you can soul summon to create one for 50 gems, sort by rarity. You can also, rather than try to figure out, well, since I can only play 3, where are my 4th copies, I want to get rid of them all, there's a button. It says, I have 2 epics and 3 commons that are over. I can soul trap them for 215 gems. Let's just do it. It coalesces, and my total goes up. Now says there's nothing for me to soul trap. You can go in here, set your card back, which you'll unlock most of these via gameplay. Although some, like the 25-year anniversary, they've already come and gone. That's why I don't have the daily login reward. I didn't play when this one was released. Top 10, there's all sorts of special card backs in here. But, the tricks. I clicked out. So let's say, let me just find something let me just craft one of these for example. So I can't actually do it. Alright, so let's say I got a card that I did not own via a pack. And you're going to have little numbers down here that say, hey, you've got 20 cards that are brand new. But you've already got, say, 90 cards. And you're like, I don't want to sort through and find the new manually. But you could type new in here. And he's got new somewhere in his text. So these guys are showing up. But it will show any new cards that you do not own. And you can just quickly mouse over them to get rid of that new status. Likewise, if you're wondering what premiums you have, you can type out premium, and it will show you. Just nifty little tricks. So, I think that's all we're going to go through for this opening video. We touched on, as soon as you get in, take a look at the Legend Decks article that we've got linked below. Pick which avatar you want based on what cards you want, what you want your playstyle to be. Finish up the story. Review Legend Decks. Find a deck that you like and you want to work towards. Spend your gems on building that deck, rather than crafting just a unique card here or a cool card over there. In play, we discussed the rune system, mulligans, the various keywords that came up in our game. Next video, we will be looking at the lanes, the different respective roles of different players in a game, and the basic strategies around how to play. Or more correctly, how to legend. So, with that, I'll sign off. Pleasure having your time. Best of vibes to all of you, and enjoy. I'll see you on the ladder.